What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the O'Shea Vlogcast. I am your host, O'Shea Duke Jackson. With my boy, you know how it is, you know who it is, the one and only Dynast Amir. He's been through here several times. Oh, what up, Dynast?
What's good, fam?
Man, just chilling, man. Glad to be here. Man, you know, I know you wanted to hook up and do this show concerning this whole Bill Maher incident that has happened. I looked at it a little bit, but I'm not as educated as maybe you are about it. What's the reason why you wanted to kind of get together and do this show tonight?
I think the main reason why is, you know, many of our and let me preface it with this. I'm neither a Republican or a Democrat. I feel and know as if neither party will offer any real solutions to the Black collective. But you have many in Black society, Black liberal society, who, when Bill O'Reilly called Maxine Waters, said she looked like James Brown, when Donald Trump said, "What's up, my African Americans?" they went apeshit.
Mm-hmm.
But Bill Maher goes on the show and says, "House nigga," and they want to give him a pass as if it's comedy. And my thing is, you got to look at Bill Maher's history. He's always been a low-key, covert racist, especially after Hillary Clinton lost. You know, Cornel West, he gets on the show and speaks on how basically Hillary Clinton sucked and he didn't agree with her. Bill Maher treated him worse than he did freaking Trump supporters that come on the show. He was against Colin Kaepernick as far as him taking a kneel. So what Black people, especially Black liberals, have to understand, and I hope they get this wake-up call these next 4 years, that when you don't fall in line with liberalism, that all they want is your vote. They could really care less about Black people. I mean, look at these Black liberal cities. I mean, they are trash. Or if it is a liberal city, you have to see, one thing that Black people don't correlate is the cost of living in these liberal cities. Once these liberal cities become gentrified with, what's the word I want to use? Hippies or whatever, the cost of living goes up. And you guys can't even afford to stay in these cities. And then when the discussion comes up of affordable housing, like it's crickets. They don't want to give you affordable housing. And then another thing too, when certain cities become gentrified, they're not sending the kids to the local schools with the Black kids. So it's like at the end of the day, all they want is your vote. But for some reason, Black liberals just don't get it. Black people don't understand that your liberal leaders, Black leaders, have completely whored you and sold you out. They still don't get it. But you know, just with the Bill Maher situation, you got Black people coming on here freaking defending and caping for Bill Maher, like, it was a joke, you're being oversensitive. Well, damn, when Bill O'Reilly called Maxine Waters James Brown, or when Donald Trump said, "What's up, my African American," you were ready to go to war. But Bill Maher gets a pass just because, you know, I guess he had a couple of intelligent Black people on the show. He gets a pass. So it's just hilarious to me.
Let's talk about some of these cities that are liberal, because you made a good point with regards to gentrification. Now, this is not necessarily gentrification what I'm talking about, but there's in Washington, a lot of places, a lot of apartments are no longer even accepting the Section 8 vouchers.
That's nationwide, bro. That's nationwide.
Nationwide, right?
Yeah.
But you can see that in a place like Washington, which is extremely on the left. This because, I mean, even they are the ones saying, listen, there are some apartment owners, you know, we don't care about your women and children. You know, we want your Black ass out of here.
Right.
You know, we gotta have you out of here now. And with Black people, I don't get it, because they continue to vote Democrat consistently, ever since the 60s. But, you look at cities like, and I was in DC. Now, DC is extremely liberal. It's always been Democrat. I was going to Howard University when many white people got tired of coming from Alexandria, Virginia. They got tired of coming from other places in PG County, Maryland. They wanted to be in the city. I saw Black people who had been in Northwest DC getting pushed out. I saw it. And now, if you go back there now, by Howard University, you're not going to see typical hood niggas hanging out outside Carver Hall. You're not going to see niggas on the hood on U Street. You're going to see white people walking their dogs now.
Right.
Now, why would Black people continue to do this, although they get nothing out of this, in your opinion?
It's the Kool-Aid, man. Black people are just programmed. I don't know what it is, because it's so obvious and blatant. And it's not just poor Black people that have been falling for this. It's also so-called educated Black people that graduate from Howard, and brag about the degrees from Howard, that will push hard for the Democratic platform, the liberal platform, knowing damn well they're not going to do shit for Black people. It's going to be counterproductive. It's just this whole idea that, okay, well, Rosa Parks sat on the back of a bus, and, MLK took a bullet for us to vote. But at the end of the day, we're not voting for our best interest. So you can still vote, but the point is vote for your best interest. And that means creating a new party or voting for another platform, then do it. Literally during this election, and people knew Hillary Clinton wasn't shit. You had people saying this, best of two evils, and we have to vote. And I'm like, well, look, there's 4 parties. You have Democrats, Republicans, the Green Party, and then there was one, I think the Liberal Party, I think it was called. You have 4 parties. They were like really saying that, oh, if you don't vote Democrat, you're wasting your vote. I'm like, if you vote Democrat, you're wasting your vote, because they're not gonna do any shit for Black people anyway. So they're super programmed. I just don't know. They're just completely stuck in the freaking matrix and will not unplug, no matter what.
Let's talk about Bill Maher again. I don't know too much about him besides the fact that he is a comedian. And to me personally, I can't say I take offense to what he said, because I don't really give a fuck about what he says. I'm not one of those people that's gonna be hella upset about it. Because he's a comedian, and I think Bill Maher tries to push the issue with a lot of different people, not just Black. But one thing about Bill Maher that probably makes him get away with a lot of this shit is Bill Maher has an infatuation with Black women. From what I've been told, he likes to date Black women. He fucks a lot of Black women. So, the Black community is matriarchal, is ran by Black women. So because Bill Maher has an infatuation with Black women, then maybe this may be the reason why he gets away with a lot of things. What's your take on this?
There was a study done, and it's the truth, that the majority of white men that like Black women, just because they like Black women doesn't mean they respect Black men.
Oh, say that again. Say it again.
The majority of white men that like Black women does not necessarily mean that they respect Black men. And for some reason, Black men don't understand that. And Black people don't get that. But what's crazy, Black women fucking know that. Because you always hear these stories that they post on Ebony, freaking how to love white men and make sure he's not a white supremacist. And literally, here's a story, excuse my language. I hate saying the N-word. There were stories on Ebony Black feminist websites. My boyfriend is a racist, a white racist, but I still love him. So Black women know this shit, but I don't know what it is. They're just still programmed to tolerate this. They try to tolerate it and work around it instead of having some self-respect and not get involved in a situation like that. That's what's funny about it. But yeah, the majority of white men that date Black women do not like black men, do not want us in the picture. Shit, you see that shit in fucking Africa. When these white men are dating these black women, they do not want any fucking Africans around.
Right.
They stay in their own. In fact, I'm telling you, in Africa, I seen this shit in Kenya. You have communities where it's white expats with their African wives, and it's just their own community. That's it. And they go to schools with predominantly white. They send their kids to schools with predominantly white children, and it's just their own community. They do not. They try to exclude themselves from or segregate themselves from like African society. It's just white expats, male expats with their African wives. So I'm telling you, I see it all the time.
Let me kind of talk to you about what you just said, just to kind of throw on it. There was a lady, I actually did a response video to a dumb video she did. Her name is Miss Black Expat. And she, you know, to be honest, I was kind of turned on to wanting to go to Africa. I've always studied African history in the modern sense of the players in West Africa, for example, Nigeria, Liberia, Sierra Leone, stuff like that. But this particular lady, Ms. Black Expat, she was teaching in Uganda for private schools. And if you know anything about Uganda, obviously you know it's modeled after the British educational system. So she was teaching for a British school to wealthy children, okay? But what she talks about in one particular video, let me see if I can stream this here. She talks about how a white man had a baby by a Ugandan lady. Now he's a wealthy guy, right? The daughter goes to the school. The school is about $15,000 a year. Okay. Now, also, in this particular, the name of the video is called Biracial Students with Racist Parents. Now, he did not want her to go to school with any black children.
Yeah, that's so common. Like when I was a kid, I would see that.
I'm gonna put it actually in the comment section here if you guys want to check that out. Now, this is a guy who's actually living in Uganda. Now, think about how stupid this would sound. I'm living in Poland. I have a baby by a Polish lady. And I go up to the school complaining because my daughter is in school with other Polish kids. This is how dumb this would sound. Right? I want, before we go back to you, I also want to talk about, I did a video about a black man who was complaining about his white baby mama who didn't see their daughter as being black, and she was upset with the hairstyle that he got. A lot of times when white women like black men, those white women do not like black women. This is almost, they will never say it. Typically, that doesn't happen. Right. Oh shit, a sweet speaks. How much money do you need to, he's NOK. He's from, must be from Norway. He has Crohn's. Or, what up, man? It's Swede speaks, NOK. How much money do you need to live in Poland? Hold on, let me answer this real quick. I would say in my city, what up, Officer Faulkner? You can live here comfortably for about $1,000 a month, $900 to $1,000 a month. You'll be doing pretty good. That's cool. Yeah, my utilities were $113 for 4 months. Yeah, I know. I saw the Norway because I know about those Crohn's, man. I was there in Norway. It's expensive, but yeah, it's true. You know, like you said, man. A lot of times those Africans do not like, those whites do not like Africans. Now, what I'm gonna do, because the Dynast has inspired me, I'm actually gonna try to go to some of the upper areas where I see a lot of expats, and I'm gonna try to record their ass without them knowing about the shit. Let's go back to you though, Dynast. Let's talk more about Bill Maher and what the problem is with him using the house nigger term, in your opinion.
Personally, I don't use it, the word, at all. It's just, again, my issue with it was, where's the black liberal outrage at? Like, if this would have been any type of white, Republican, conservative, we'll say comedian that wouldn't use the same term, they would want his head. My thing is, okay, why are you holding a white liberal to that same standard of justice? And that's the thing. And when I hear, black people on Facebook like, oh, give him a pass. It's a joke. Oh, he being over emotional. Oh, whatchamacallit, you're, fake outrage. It's like, well, shit, you were just fake outrage over Donald Trump saying, what's up, my African American? Or you were fake outrage about Bill O'Reilly saying, what's her name, Maxine Waters looks like James Brown. Well, he's a comedian, it's kind of different. And they're just trying to rationalize it. So that was my whole issue with it. But like, again, I don't like the word at all, And of course, they're using the whole, liberal society now. They're trying to excuse it. Like black liberals are trying to use the rational, well, rappers use it, so why can't he use it? But again, if a white Republican were to say it, if they would have said, well, hey, rappers use it, they would be up in arms about it anyway. So, that's the issue.
Let me do this. ABL is also in here in the building. The great black conservative YouTuber with over 100,000 subscribers. He made an excellent rebuttal to this. He be cooking. Do you want to get in on the conversation, ABL? Do you want to join in? Let's see if ABL wants to. He wants to join in. Okay. So you don't mind, do you, Dynast?
No, of course not.
Okay. So let me get ABL here because ABL is gonna light this up because we got 3 black conservatives in one chat. We might start a singing group.
Well, I'm not a conservative or a liberal. I'm just
two and a half. 2.5.
2.5.
2.5. 2.5. 2 in depends on the day. But I'm definitely like, so we have I sent you the link to your Facebook, ABL. Looking forward to hearing your position on this because I think both of you may be a little bit more versed in this particular one. Actually, I read a little bit of an article, but because of my packing and getting ready to leave for Africa tomorrow, I didn't get a chance to really do a response to like I wanted to. But yeah, I think that what ABL just said is a lot of black conservatives really want to be white. A lot of black liberals want to be white liberals. I mean, Bill Maher is what they want to be, And one of the things that you probably don't want to do is bite the hands that feed you. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion. Because one thing that you just said, if you don't fall in line or if you get out of line, you will be suppressed. You know what I mean? A lot of black liberals kind of understand it. If they're too quick to call racism on certain things, they may be blackballed out of a lot of shit. I mean, let's just look at Breitbart and what happened to, Maya Yiannopoulos. Let's look at what happened to Tommy Lauren. I know it's a conservative party, but, they have a certain way of dealing with people that they feel are out of line. You know what I mean?
Well, my thing is fuck Tommy Lauren and fuck Maya, whatever his name is. I can care less. Yeah, whatever. They'll be okay. Trust me, they'll be okay.
Oh man. So let's talk a little bit more about black people. What you feel? If we can't be Republican, if you think that the Democrats don't have it, for the party, there was talks that black people may bankroll their own political party. I don't know how that's going to work, but what do you think about? And you have black people who are consistently on the left, right? Would a black political party work when you have a lot of black people that are on the left, that are on the victim mind mentality? Why would we, do you think that would work?
I think foremost, before we even consider having our own, oh shit, I know this guy. I know this guy. I've seen this guy's shows before.
Yeah, you know him.
I know him.
That's the professor, man.
What's going on, y'all?
I would say this, ABL, you're a little too black conservative for me, but it's all good. You're a little too black conservative for me, a little too much. But it's whatever. I still respect you, but I'm familiar with you. But go ahead. But yeah, right. I think it's more. What's more important is black people have to get their economy together first before we even consider some type of political party. And what I mean by that, we have to develop our infrastructure, resources, And then once we do all that, other black dusty people that are having, I mean, seriously, that have platforms on liberal, that have, you know, platforms as far as liberal platforms to run their mouths on, everybody will fall in line. But you got to have like a boss. It has to be economic. Economics have to come first before we even consider some type of political party. I mean, then everybody else will fall in line. So that's what it is. And right now, when you think about black liberalism and all the bullshit that goes on, who funds it? White liberals fund it, everything, top to bottom. So that's where the problem lies. As long as they consider to cut the check, they can control the narrative.
Let me ask ABL. You made a comment about black people not having a selective outrage about Bill Maher because they themselves want to be white liberals.
Yes.
Interesting take. Can you elaborate?
Well, it's pretty much cut and dry. I mean, just like Killer Mike. Killer Mike pretty much put on his cape for Bill Maher. And the reason why Killer Mike did that is because he's been on Bill Maher's show before, right? He's been on the show quite a few times. He wants to be just like Bill Maher. And there's a lot of them that are like that. A lot of black liberals, that's how they act. They look at black people that are like in the hood still is like being inferior, being less than. They are the so-called racists they purport themselves to be against. They want to be just like white liberals who rule over the black community and don't rule it effectively. So that's why I say they want to be just like them. And that's why they give them a pass, because they feel the same way that the white liberal did. You know, they would say the exact same thing on TV and think it's funny. So it's no difference. They want to be just like them and they want to be accepted by them. That's what I think.
Were you offended by the particular comment, the house nigger statement? Did that rub you the wrong way about any, you know, at all personally as a black man?
Nah, I mean, I really don't get offended by anything. I mean, even if it's offensive, I really don't get personally offended, but I know that I know what he said and I know where it came from. I know he's a racist because he said he's done things like this before in the past. He talked about Wayne Brady as being a not real black man. It's like, who are you to decide who's real and who's not? You a Jewish guy, white guy, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to go down that road, so I'm gonna digress. But you understand what I'm saying? It's like, but you understand what I'm saying? It's like, yo, how are you gonna decide who's a real black person, who's not a real black person? And then he wants to get it passed because he dates black women. But look at the kind of black women he's dated. What, Superhead? Is that the strong?
Hold on.
Whoa! He dated Superhead?
Yeah.
What?
Google it. Google right now. Bill Maher Superhead. You see the pictures? Yeah. And check this out. And Superhead came out and blasted them, talking about he treated me like trash. He always dates bimbos. Is that and the third? Oh yeah. So it's like, all right, Bill Maher, you out here dating black prostitutes. You calling people that are not real black. You saying it's like this is Bill Maher. This is his character. But the black liberals are going to show that give all that a pass because guess what? They want to get that spotlight. They want to get that acceptance. They want to be part of that community.
Right.
And I would see stuff like that when I was a liberal. I would see stuff like that just here and there, little stuff. And I looked at it. I'm like, you know what? I can't be part of this no more.
Exactly.
I can't be part of this. Yeah.
And I agree with you because I lived in LA from 2008 to 2014, and I saw that too. Like black people, black liberals, you know, and black liberals like to talk about black conservatives as far as they sold out, Ben Carson sold out, but this is what the difference between, we'll say, a black liberal and a black conservative like Ben Carson. A black liberal, male or female, we'll talk about males, they will compromise their fucking manhood just to be a fucking liberal. Black females in liberalism will compromise their femininity and call themselves feminists and all this other bullshit that does absolutely nothing for the black community. But then they'll turn around and so-called be mad at Ben Carson if he says that poverty is a mind state, which is fucking true. Mm-hmm. So that's why I can't really, again, I'm not a liberal or conservative, but I can't really go in on black conservatives because until black conservatives start compromising their especially black conservative men, start compromising, putting on a fucking dress and compromising their manhood, that's a whole nother situation. And when I lived in LA, you saw a lot of that, especially in Hollywood and the entertainment industry. They just, like I said, they compromise their freaking manhood, which is like, whoa, okay, we can disagree on that, we can disagree on this, and still be cool. But when it comes to selling out, completely selling out and compromising your manhood, like, and compromising the black family and saying that patriarchy, you know, like Black Lives Matter. I understand what they're trying to accomplish, but when their main motive is to get rid of patriarchy and put LGBT community and feminism in as the head of the black community, and that shit has never worked in any freaking society ever in the history of this planet. And white liberals will fund that. But at the same time, if you talk to a white liberal, you would not have a situation where white feminists or the white LGBT community will be leading the white community. Same thing with Hispanics, same thing with Chinese, same thing with anything else. And they know that shit does not work, but they will allow it and fund it and propagate it in the black community. And they know it's destructive.
I agree, 100%.
You know, I'm kind of not lost here because I'm just still thinking about how the fuck Bill Maher was getting his dick sucked by Superhead.
I mean, but you know, Superhead. I mean, Superhead. I mean, think about who that is. Really, you're talking about a prostitute. That I mean, like, does she care about herself? Really? I mean, come on.
And here's the thing: what's so crazy because black women are so adamant about their representation in the media. They want their respect, and then Bill Maher chooses a woman like Superhead, and nobody says anything. Well, then that lets you know who the standard black female is. You know, if you were to pick a black woman out of general population at random, you're probably going to pick somebody with the mindset and ideology of a Superhead. And that's probably why there was no, and she's a light-skinned chick too. But the thing is, Superhead is such a fucking slut bag that you're probably not going to get a lot of people saying, well, why did you choose that black woman? Why not choose another one that represents, more professionalism? And the fact is, but
because the reason why nobody said anything is because that's what they think the average black woman is. The liberals, the white liberals especially, that's what they think black women are. That's why.
Yes. Yes.
Exactly. And I'm gonna say this. I think they know. And there is no think. They know. That's where black women are at right now. Let's not act like they're not. That's where we're at right now. Y'all might not agree with it, but what Superhead is, that's where you're at. That's it.
And this is the thing. I love the black woman. I disagree. But let me say this. In liberal
on average.
Okay. In liberal Hollywood, when you're dealing with liberal society, for the most part, I'm not even gonna say average. When you're dealing in liberal Hollywood in the entertainment industry, Superhead that's the black woman in that type of environment. I mean, you watch For Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, you watch Basketball Wives. I mean, you watch. What's all these shows? Just the media in general. I mean, you got Janelle Monáe saying, hey, if men don't respect women, don't give them any vagina. But she's a lesbian.
Yes.
Bisexual. So it's okay if women don't respect other women because they don't talk about domestic violence amongst women and lesbian that goes on in lesbian relationships. But they won't say that. So when you're dealing with and again, I pursued the entertainment industry for a smaller bit of time when I was in LA. When you're dealing in that demographic of black people, it is probably the most dysfunctional. I mean, look at TV. It's probably the most dysfunctional demographic of black people on this fucking planet. So you gotta understand, Superhead, even though she's out there, she's the standard. Because a lot of these chicks act like that, but they're just on the low, but Superhead is out there. Like Superhead's the standard when you're dealing with the black liberal entertainment paradigm. So that's normal. That's why I just don't want to confuse it with all black chicks. But when you're dealing with that entertainment industry, that's the standard. as far as superheads. So, you know, when you're in these industry circles, for the most part, they all act like superheads.
What's your thought process on that, Anthony? Because I'm saying that's where I think black women are at. Dynast is saying, well, black women are act like that in a certain particular area. Does Bill Maher and white liberals, do they have it right when they say black women are, you know, at the level of superhead right now? So let's choose her and date her, and there's no outrage. What do you think?
Nah, I mean, I can't say anything like that. I'm not going to put everybody black into a box or the majority of black folks into a box like that. That's not what I'm about. I know there is problems in the black community. Nobody can deny that. But I think the problem is multifaceted. It's not just all about everybody being like superhead or whatever. You got a lot of black women that are overly masculine. I think superhead is way too feminine, and I don't want to say too feminine, but with no restraint, no control over herself, no respect for herself, and no love for herself. Mm-hmm. But you got a lot of black women out here that are like Buster Douglas in the face and knock you square on out. You know, I mean, you got some rough black women. I've seen some videos on World Star, and some of these black women are beating the brakes off of dudes. And it's like, you know, a lot of that comes from not having the father in the house, and you got the woman trying to emulate masculinity. That's a big problem. Lesbianism is on the rise. I think black women are the largest prison population rising right now out of all the groups in the United States beyond black men. So that's a problem right now. It's a lot of issues.
Whoa, beyond black men?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah. Oh, please send me a link on that. I'm gonna do a Calypso Oregon fiery style sermon on it. I'm gonna eat that up. I'm gonna get kicked off of YouTube for that. There's gonna be a lot of Calypso Oregon. So okay, let me tell you what I think. I'm not putting all black people in the box. I can't do that. You know, if you know anything about, you know, what's this curve that we used to use in statistics? What do you call it? Yeah,
bell curve.
The bell curve. Yeah, 68% of people live, you know, in this place. I think that the most, and I have to say it by age, right? Most Democratic liberal motherfuckers, and I'm not trying to say that they're whole on the outside like that. You know, not every black chick is busting open with superhead, but a lot of females, more often or not, are on that same level of thinking that superhead is. And let me tell you what I'm talking about. Superhead is the same chick who got married to some dude, and she said, if Lil Wayne ever calls me, doesn't matter where my husband is, I'm going to go fuck him. And what I mean to say by a lot of black women feel that it really doesn't matter of what man they're dealing with. They can do whatever they want to do because they're entitled to do so. So when I'm talking about the mindset of superhead, I'm not talking about just twirling your neck on a fucking dick and taking nut all in your face. No, I'm talking about this whole self-entitlement. I have no respect for a relationship, no respect for a man, and I can do whatever I want to do because I can. And I don't think anybody can say black women are not there. They are there. That's the problem. They're fucking there. You know, that's why you have people like me and Angry Man, and that's why you got Dynast Amir going to 15,000 African countries and shit. This is why you got these niggas doing this. I mean, you know, and what I'm saying is the Jews, the liberals. Oops, sorry, I want to get reported. The white liberals, they know. And one thing about slave owners, I hate to say this, they know they're slaves. And if don't nobody know niggas, white folks know. They know them. They know what a black person will do any motherfucking time of the day. They know these Negroes coming and going. They have studied them. They studied them before they brought our ass over here. They know that we're over emotional. They know that we're not, some of us are not that bright. They know us. The white slave master knows their slave. That's the truth. They know that. I don't think people want to give white folks credit for knowing their slaves like they do. We don't want to say that, but that's what it is.
I know they do.
Yeah, they know what these Negroes will do with any. That's why a lot of these niggas, I know these niggas coming. The reason why I can deal really good with black men, I'm going to say this and I'm going to shut up. The reason why I deal so good with black men, I know you niggas. I know you niggas coming and going. When y'all send me bullshit ass emails and your little scams, I know you niggas. You can't fool me. This is the reason why I can deal with you now. I know, like David Carroll said, I have a PhD in Negroology. I know you niggas coming and going. I know what you will do at any given fucking time. And if I know it, the white man sure know. He got hundreds of years on you niggas. In any given moment of what you might do, he knows. He got the playbook on y'all. It's like he know the play before he call it, and you niggas get sacked 3rd and 17 every goddamn play. You can't even get to the first damn mark. All right, I'm done. What you want to think of? I mean, am I right, ABL? I know you don't curse and shit like that, but do we got to figure it out? Am I hitting on something?
Yeah, you are. The people that we're trying to fight against, some people are trying to fight against them. They know what's inside and out, front and back. And at a certain point, you got to switch up your play. If you keep going, straight up the middle, and they keep, blocking it, they keep putting, 11 men right there on the line, you're not being able to get forward. Maybe you just throw a pass over the line, you may get some yardage. I mean, that's kind of like common sense, but we keep going straight to the middle and keep getting stopped. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but we think that we have to do that because we've been raised that way. We don't know any other way to be. And when somebody says, hey, just throw a quick little out pass, a little slant route or something like that. Nah, we don't want to do that. Because if you do that, you're Uncle Tommy, you're a coon, you're a sellout. They got us figured out. They know how to keep us right here. But it's easy because we don't even just take the simple way out of it. If we could just take a simple way out, it'd be a lot easier, but we don't.
Let me ask you this, because you wanted to do an episode when I come back on Black business. You're a successful person in business. I think all of us, Dynast is good in business. I'm somewhat okay. So we're all in business in some shape or form for ourselves, and probably make a good for ourselves in what we're doing. Let's talk about the impact of what Black people can do to slowly break away from the liberal plantation. And if they do break away from it, will there be repercussions? Will there be violence?
I mean, it's not going to be any violence. I mean, it may be. The only violence will come as if what has to be done. I'll rephrase. Violence may come if what has to be done is done. And what has to be done is the welfare state must be broken apart. It's got to be broken apart. Now, if somebody is mad that their EBT card is not working, or they can't go to the store and get their steaks and Funyuns or whatever for free anymore, then that may cause violence. We've seen that happen. It was an outage, EBT one day. And then it was like a little miniature riot down south somewhere. It might have been in Louisiana. So stuff like that might happen, but that's going to blow over quick enough as soon as you get the police involved, which is another part of it. You got to get the police stronger. The police are very weak in a lot of inner city areas. People talk about the police are too hard on Black people. That's not true. I've seen people I've witnessed people firsthand. I know a guy, I ain't gonna say nobody's name, multiple time felon, went on a high speed chase, had a gun in the car, and got off with probation. I've seen that. And these people are in your neighborhood every day. They're the main ones terrorizing you. They'll be the main ones that get into a shootout and then a bullet go through a wall and kill some little 8-year-old girl while she's sleeping. That's what's going on. So you got to get harder on the crime in the Black community. Then you got to get rid of the welfare state. And at that point, you're going to have no other choice but to do right. Because if you do wrong, you're going to be sent off and you won't be heard from again. And you're not going to be able to rely upon the government to help you feed yourself. So that's going to create necessity. Right. That's going to create ingenuity as a result. So that's going to be what has to happen. And as far as business is concerned, I can talk about that a lot, but I'll wait till you ask that specific question.
Okay. Dynast, and I'm talking about violence. And I mean, I'm trying to, because people always say that as an excuse. Let's go back to what was this thing in Tulsa back in the 1900s? They were talking about something wood. What was it called?
Black Wall Street. Greenwood.
Black Wall Street in Rosewood, something like that, right?
Rosewood is in Florida.
Oh, okay, Rosewood in Florida. Okay, so Black Wall Street.
Yeah, before you say that, I just want to say this. The thing about Black Wall Street is that it was torn down. It was rebuilt 5 years later, and it lasted up until integration when it closed down because they abandoned it. But go ahead. Okay, so you gonna stump me before I could even say it, because what we're going to say is, well, if we, ABL or Dynast, all right, I need to leave the Democratic Party.
Right.
If I leave the Liberal Party or Republican Party, because we're, let's assume that both of them equally have it in for Black people, and if we do build X, Y, and Z up from nowhere, well, all white folks are going to do is is come and tear it down. Now, I'm gonna throw another wrench in there, ABL, because I gotta stump you. I'm gonna try to. It's probably gonna be hard, but I'm gonna try. Right? And Dynast too, because Dynast, I'm gonna stump. Okay, I'm gonna use a one for Dynast. Okay, Dynast, you're talking about being independent. Well, look at the African colonies that tried that. We can talk about Uganda and Milton Obote. We can talk about Kwame Nkrumah from Nigeria. From Ghana in 1960. 57. We can talk about Nigeria in 1960. All of those places that tried to be independent of white people. And there's a time that Nigeria, their currency is actually worth more than the US dollar, believe it or not. These people are going to somehow find a way to start some sort of civil war or unresting to tear down whatever positive you have going. We can talk about Thomas Sankara, and Burkina Faso is a great example of that. He rebuilt that country in 4 years, and they got Blaise Compaoré in there and set his ass up. So what do you say when you have people say, even if we do what you're saying, they're going to find a way to tear us down anyway? What's your response, ABL? And then we'll talk about talk with Dynast as far as a diaspora thing.
Okay, my response to that is people got to stop being so weak. Stop being so weak and just saying that you can't do anything because somebody's going to defeat you. I mean, in everything, if it's a competition, if it's a struggle for resources, there's going to be people on the winning side and losing side. Don't just line yourself to the losing side already. When you do that, especially when you're talking about white people, you say that you are inferior to white people, because the whole thing is, look, you got human beings, you got people, and you say, okay, you got blacks and whites. Now, if you go into it saying, oh, well, I can't do anything because a white man going to be better than me, then that means you think you're inferior. You are a white supremacist, essentially, because that's their saying, if you have of you. So don't think that way. Just go into it as a man and as a people collectively to be able to do the right thing. Now, if you lose, if you don't accomplish your goal, then whose fault is that? Are you going to blame the white man, or are you going to blame yourself? Take personal accountability for your own actions and for your own successes and failures.
Okay. Good comeback. I try to stump you, it doesn't work. Okay, Dynast, you have been an inspiration to me personally. Wanting to go to Africa, and actually I'll be leaving tomorrow in Africa. I'm going to a former British colony, which is Uganda. Winston Churchill called it the Pearl of Africa. What if somebody tells you the same thing? Every time a black country has tried to be independent of white control, white people have tried to somehow create some civil war, kill presidents, kill prime ministers to keep control of the country. What would you say to that?
I would say exactly what ABL said. I mean, it's going to have to become number one, in the black community, we lack a code of conduct, meaning we will sell out for freaking anything. I think before we even get to that point, we build our own economy, we build our own infrastructure. I'm trying to think of a nice way to say it. We need a small, it happened in China. We need a small cultural revolution. Meaning there has to be some people that have to freaking walk the plank before we even get started. And they know who they are. So we're gonna have to get rid of that segment of black society, then we can finally build. It's just the issue is the people that we have to get rid of currently right now, even though by popular thought, people are gonna say they're on the black conservative side. No, all of the self-destruction that's coming from within the black community is funded by liberals. So there are a ton of liberal leaders that they have black liberal leaders that if we decide, or it comes to that period of time where we have to separate, they have to freaking go. Walk the plank, get exiled, whatnot. Because you have to understand, it's just, the issue is just all these black people just will sell out so fucking easily. Like there's no code of conduct. There's no dignity, that's the freaking issue. And so that segment has to freaking go. Like, look, if you're even caught remotely selling out, then we got to do you Kim Jong-un North Korea style. Like seriously, you have to go there, because again, it's just, that's the issue. It's just black people, especially in Africa, will sell out for a bag of cookies. I mean, literally. So I think that's the issue right there. It's gonna just have to, it might get ugly and bloody, but a certain segment is gonna have to disappear real quick.
So ABL, let me kind of get back to the Bill Maher, and it's a good point. Let me how should Black people, if they want to be respected as a collective group, when somebody like Bill Maher says what he says, how should we respond, in your opinion?
Just call it how you see it. Just call him what he is, and then bring up his past. Like, just like same way I did. It's not about, being outraged to the point where you want to go out there with a pitchfork and a torch and burn his house down or something like that. But it's just calling him what he is. He's a racist. You can't be trying to cape for him like Killer Mike did, talking about, oh, we got bigger fish to fry, this, that, and the third. He's just trying to protect his own interests. Just call it how you see it. Call him a racist. You can't be on TV. You on national TV, you live TV. You know that if you drop the N-bomb as a Jewish guy, white guy, whatever. If you do that, it's going to be controversial. If you do that, you're not in a position to say it without getting any kind of accusations of racism thrown your way. So you have to be mindful of that. And if you're not mindful of that, people got to call them on it and say, hey, wait a minute, you cannot say those words. You cannot do that on TV. You cannot give them a pass. That's all that it is to it. Call it how you see it. Don't try to give them a pass.
Mm-hmm. But you know what's crazy though? Like, you haven't heard any, and let me ask you this, ABL.
Okay.
You haven't heard any Black leader, Democratic leader, call him out on this, have you?
I have not.
See, that's the problem right there. Again, they're giving him a pass on it. In fact, I want to say, what's his name? Eric Dyson?
Oh my God.
Michael Eric Dyson. Yeah.
Oh my God.
He actually did like a freaking one-pager on why we should give him a pass.
Oh boy. Crazy.
It's just, you had, like I said, on my Facebook page, you just had way too many Black people giving this guy a pass. It's like, are you serious? And
that's crazy. And the thing about that is, people want to say that Trump was a racist for saying that Obama may not be born in the United States. Say he may be from Kenya, he may be a Muslim. That's not even no race. I didn't know Kenyan was a race as a nationality, and also Muslim is not a race either. And then Hillary Clinton was the one that started that whole rumor back during the campaign when she was trying to defeat him in the primary. I remember that because I watched it when it was happening all them years ago. But nobody wants to call Hillary on that. Everybody want to call Donald Trump, because it's not even about what was said. It's about trying to protect liberals. A liberal could say anything about a Black person to their face, and he was like, "Oh, that's a master. Okay, it's so good." That's how they are. That's what I see.
Exactly.
Okay, so I guess let's talk a little bit more about these Black liberals here, because I think that the white liberals move through the Black liberals, move through the Black church, Black radio, talk shows, you Black liberal YouTubers, Cynthia G. Oh my God. Let's talk about how this trickle down effect comes through the Black community, through the white liberal, if you guys don't mind, because I want to get your take on it. Like, how does the white liberal infiltrate their message through? We know it ultimately happens to us somehow, but the white liberal, that person can't really speak to Black people directly. You understand what I'm saying? The white liberal has to speak through other people, and then that message is co-signed by Black people. So, I guess, Dynast, in your opinion, how do you think white liberals trickle down to the inner city ghettos? How do they influence, Black children, Black single moms, all of this, in your opinion?
Again, it's a paycheck. It's money. It's a check. Again, just like the same issue you have in Africa with Africans selling out for a bag of cookies, that's rampant here amongst Black America in regards to liberalism. Again, all you got to do is cut a check, and, especially in Black liberal society, they'll do something strange for a little bit of change. That's just how it is. Seriously, it's that simple. Just cut a check.
I guess on a major scale, let me ask this, because we're all YouTubers. ABL, you've been on the Blaze. As YouTubers, we all know the power of media. Where we're all talking right now, there are 100-something people watching us. ABL, you've had over 1,000 people at one time watching you live. Let's talk about how the liberals should control media. That's kind of where I was getting. So, things that Bob Johnson had BET. Mm-hmm. And so white liberals bought BET. And BET had built up such a credibility amongst black people. And then white liberals got it, and BET pushes, and white liberals push their message through BET. Ebony, oh my God.
Ebony.
So I guess what I'm trying to ask, ask ABL is, what other ways does he see that white liberals are infiltrating black communities through their message? And then I'll ask you a question after you answer this one.
Well, I mean, they don't have to really do anything. It's not like a big plan. Like I was saying earlier, it's just about how we're raised as black people to think that everything conservative is bad and everything liberal is good. They don't got to do anything because we gravitate toward, we try to find them. So they have everything set up for us. And whatever they say that they want us to do, we do it. They'll say, hey, man, hey, I know you want to be on this TV show, so put on this dress and put on this lipstick too. Okay, cool. Great. Sign a check. I'm good. Yep. That's what it is. Yeah, go ahead, man.
No, go ahead, Anthony. Go ahead, finish your thought, and I'll jump in.
We seek them out to try and to advance in life, and then they're prepared for us with things to do. So all they gotta do is just, they got a template. It's like, here, take that, and we do it.
Okay.
I couldn't say it any better, O'Shea. That's what it is. I mean, again, I experienced that when I was, I guess, chasing my Hollywood dream when I moved to LA back in 2008. I mean, again, you want to be in the entertainment industry so bad that they have a plan for you. Like literally, you come to the casting call, and it's, if you want to do this, you have to do that. And then you'll see all these rappers and these entertainers, complaining on how, they run the entertainment industry, as far as white people, liberals, whatever, and how they made them do this, made them do that, how they had to sell out. And then all they do is complain about it. But again, as long as they're poking over that dough, they'll complain, but they're still going to continue to do it anyway. So, and then the thing about it is they're not even getting paid that much. That's another thing you have to understand. These liberals who are selling out, they're not getting that much money. I mean, Al Sharpton's been bankrupt how many times?
Really?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
I mean, what's your name? Tahari Pitson? What's the show she's on? Tahari. She's like one of the most, right. She's like one of the most overworked, underpaid black actresses, or actresses, period. A lot, they're not even paid that much. I mean, you hear all these rappers talking about how they were fucked as far as their record deals go. You hear David Dash talk about how culture vultures control the music industry. So they're selling out again for literally a bag of cookies. Like they're not even getting paid to sell out, and then they complain about it, but then they show up again the next day to continue to sell out for like I said, do something strange for a little bit of change, and literally that's what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. I guess let me ask ABL this, because you've been on the Blaze, a Dynast, you're a model and all this stuff, and you've been in Hollywood yourself, or at least shaped that kind of that atmosphere before. And should black people, not necessarily saying conservatives or liberals, but people who don't agree with the liberal agenda, definitely, should we be trying to build our own media platforms, even though it will take a long time, to counteract what's going on with BET, what's going on with Ebony, Essence? I mean, how do we get our voices out there to the people to let them know the truth, in your opinion?
O'Shea, you brought this up before on one of your shows. Black people do not want to create their own platforms. And you gave the example as far as black people creating a YouTube, black people creating their own Facebook. So as far as, we'll start off with Hollywood, black people do not want to create their own Hollywood.
Say it again.
Black people do not want to create their own Hollywood. They do not want to create their own music industry. They did it back in the 50s and 60s when Motown first came out on the scene, but they got so complacent and lazy that they just don't want to do it. And the thing about it is they somewhat have the resources, they somewhat have the money. Now, I'll give you a prime example. Let's look at Nollywood in Nigeria.
Yeah. Good catch.
Little deep, low budget, super low budget.
The worst movies ever.
Worst movies. Dude, they're like number 3 behind
India.
In fact, you have no, number one is I think Bollywood in India.
Mhm.
Then you have Hollywood. Nollywood is number 3, and their and their productions look worse than if they were taped on the first original iPhone. I mean, seriously.
They're getting better though. Shout out to Nollywood. I ain't gonna lie.
They're getting a whole lot better. But I'm just
better.
saying, like, the thing is, you have to start somewhere.
Right.
You know, and there's a lot of people just refuse to do it. I mean,
Right.
you hear Monique is still complaining about how she wasn't paid for Precious. I think she was paid over like $50,000.
And she did a hell of a job. Let me talk to you about this. But before I go back to ABL, I had an interview with a Hollywood insider, man. And it's funny that you mentioned this. This was let me check out the name of this for those of you, because you said the same exact thing. This was called Emasculated Black Men in Hollywood, Ronald Armstrong. He writes on the Negro. Did you watch that one? I
didn't watch it, but I'm telling you, I was chasing that Hollywood dream, and I'm telling you, they will emasculate. That's when I talk about black liberals, the men versus black conservative men. How black liberals will they will effeminize themselves in a heartbeat just to get a movie role or just to be a part of liberal society, period. And then you'll have the black feminists who will come along and tell them, like, okay, you kissed another man, you're showing your ass, you're doing all this other behavior where you're compromising your manhood. That's normal. That's okay. And by God, you black men who don't believe in that, you better not say anything or speak out against it, or else you're homophobic and we're gonna come after you and shut you down. That's what goes on in Hollywood. Like, if you're a black man, the only way you can really make it, and it's no conspiracy theory. That's why I went back to corporate America, because I saw what was going on. I'm like, nah, you can have that. Let me go back over here. You compromise your manhood. The black feminists come along and say, compromising your manhood is completely okay. It's completely normal. It's fine. And then brothers like me, Mr. Logan, O'Shea, we come along and say, no, compromising your manhood is not cool because you gain nothing from it. We're looked at as the bad guys. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I've seen this shit go on. And a lot of times these dudes, let me tell you what else happens. They will compromise their manhood, not make it, and they end up developing mental issues. And a lot of them can't come back from it. So that's what you see a lot going on with a lot of these black entertainers, especially male entertainers. That's why they seem crazy, like Tay Diggs. You know, that's why they're freaking crazy in the head, because they compromise their manhood. You got people lying to them, telling them, like, it's okay to compromise yourself in this way. And they know in the back of their mind, like, look, this is not normal, this is not right. And they go freaking crazy. That's why a lot of these black men in Hollywood are just, in the entertainment industry period, are just so fucking weird and off. But then they'll try to tell people like me, ABL, and O'Shea that we're the crazy ones. Right. So that's the game that they play.
What's your response about the lack of black people wanting to develop their own platforms and media and starting from scratch? What's your thoughts on that, ABL?
Well, I want to say one thing. We do have it. I mean, look at what Tyler Perry has done in Atlanta. But you see, a lot of black folks don't like Tyler Perry. I think his movies are like insulting, but no, I kind of find that to be funny, because a lot of them same black folks that say Tyler Perry is insulting will also watch Empire, Love and Hip Hop, Basketball Wives, porno, et cetera, where you get the most degrading kind of images towards black women and black men. I'm not a big fan of Tyler Perry, but I respect what he's doing. He has his own studio, basically like a little small Hollywood in Atlanta. He patronizes black businesses. I got people that are in Atlanta that have businesses he's patronized personally. I know them personally, and I've been able to get money with them. We got to do more stuff like that, and we got to be able to have competent people working. That's another big problem. People try to put on their family and friends in the black community rather than competent people, and these people that they bring on are like anchors to their business. They're not allowing it to progress. Rather than getting the person that actually knows what they're doing that's also black, they hire friends and family. So the person that knows what they're doing that's black ends up going to work with somebody white. That's the brain drain thing that happens here in the States, also in Africa.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a very big problem. So that brain drain coupled with not realizing what the real opportunities are. That's a big problem. And then also a lack of ingenuity. You got the welfare state going on, and that whole thing is like a safety net that keeps us right there. What's the incentive to do anything beyond that? What's the incentive to have your own Hollywood? You got to be able to have everybody all hands on deck. You can have a money guy. Let's say you got some athletes or entertainers or whatnot that got the money. Okay, that's one part, but you still need a full staff, and you got to be able to develop these people. You got to be able to grow them from a young age. But if they grew up in an environment where everything was all about trying to get your welfare check, signing these forms to fraud the government and stuff like that, that's all you're going to know. You're not going to be raised with a skill. You don't have any skills. That's something else. We don't have any skills. We're raised up. You get to be 18 years old. It's like, okay, what am I going to do now? I have no skills. I had skills at 10 years old. A lot of these kids are walking around, have no idea what they're going to do. They're like zombies, and they end up going out committing crime. But if they had an interest and a skill early, they could have been part of the new Hollywood. But we're not developing that, and that's a big part of the problem.
That's a good comeback. Let me take a little bit of a break, you guys. Shout out everybody in the chat. Once again, we have two super intelligent, well, three, including me, brothers on the conversation tonight. Anthony Brian Logan, he's no stranger to this channel. He's no stranger to YouTube success. Actually, he got more subscribers on one channel. I got on all my channels. So shout out to Anthony Logan. He likes to come by the hood, which is what I call my channel, the YouTube ghetto. And so we want to, you guys, if you don't know who Anthony Brian Logan is, where the hell have you been? Do me a favor. For those of you who are not subscribed to Anthony Brian Logan, get in here and click his YouTube in the chat. All right. So go ahead and once you guys do that, say sub. Okay, comment sub. All right. We want to go ahead and support Anthony Brian Logan. He's doing some great things. He's been doing some talks and things in several different colleges across the nation. So definitely look for big things from him. And also my good buddy from my hometown, Sacramento, California. We went to the same high school, but went to the high school a year after he went. And my best buddy in the world, shout out to Dr. Ryan Cumby, who he just recently got married. Shout out to you. We both know him very well. So I mentioned that, me and Ryan were both biology majors at Sac State. Getting me to come over to try medical school again. So let's go ahead and subscribe to our man Searchforuhuru right here. Let's go down to the bottom and click subscribe on his channel. He has some great content also. But let's talk more about this political party, because
But I just want to say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
But you got to understand, ABL. Now, Tyler Perry, he put on a dress as well now.
Yeah, I mean, hey, like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of Tyler Perry, but I will say that the thing about Tyler Perry I respect is the fact that he's a black man with a black business that's hired a lot of black people. I do appreciate that part. It ain't like when you're talking about somebody that's black trying to go work in Hollywood, where you just got to go through one avenue. And a lot of times you got a lot of racial discrimination as well, especially if you don't play the game the way that they want. I mean, think about it like this. Guys like Lance Gross, would they been able to get their career started if it was not for Tyler Perry? I mean, where would they work in Hollywood? And I never seen Lance Gross in a Tyler Perry production put on a dress or lipstick or nothing like that. I always seen him as kind of like a masculine figure. And on that show, I forget what that was, Meet the Browns or one of those sick. Yeah, he always was like, he had like a more realistic kind of presence. Everybody in that show had a more realistic presence. I never saw the father or the sons or the little boy or the girl do some kind of gender bending thing. I never saw that. But in the white productions, you see that kind of as the norm. That's just kind of how I observe it. Now, Tyler Perry himself with the dress on, that's something different. But his people that he's employed, I don't see that whole thing being pushed on them that he does.
But I have to say this, and then we can move on. I think from Alan Payne to even the guy you just mentioned, all of them have fell out with Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry's like on that Puff Daddy shit where he underpays everybody, and then are like Birdman, where all his artists end up hating him. That's just the only issue with Tyler Perry. Like all his artists, his actors end up hating him, and they always end up splitting. I don't know why that is. Like the same thing with Puffy, same thing with Birdman. But I'm not a big Tyler Perry fan, man. Yeah, but next question.
Okay. I guess, let's talk more about, I guess this, the Nollywood thing. I mean, like I said, Nollywood was nothing, and I got a lot of Nigerian friends. And Nollywood, not only, because Nigeria diaspora is so big, man. There's 200 million people in Nigeria alone. And when I say Nigerians are everywhere, dude, Nigerians are in Poland.
Yeah.
Nigerians are in Ukraine. There is no place you can go without seeing that. They are everywhere. In Malaysia, in China. I mean, the Nollywood business is huge because they have such a huge diaspora. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, should Black people in America be like, you know what, fuck the United States, let's try to work more with Africa, and trying to be more independent and getting our products in the motherland than trying to compete here in America, where possibly we serve some fear of backlash. We're trying to compete against industries that Jews run, white liberals run. Why not do what Nollywood did and maybe take our expertise in filmmaking to the motherland? Let's try to stabilize Africa in that phrase, or in healthcare. I just kind of want your opinions on that. If we can see that. Let's start with Dynast, because you're more experienced maybe with traveling overseas, and we'll go to ABL.
I think there's a huge opportunity and market for it. I mean, you have to look at this. The African, like WizKid, P Square, Yemi Alade, these African artists
Davido
are more paid than American artists.
Yeah, Davido is another one. He's big.
Yeah,
Davido.
So I think, number one, just going to Africa and seeing how much Africans love Black American culture, how eager they. In fact, I just got a phone call from my buddy today in Senegal. We're gonna go in together on something as small but big, French fries. As far as he's tired of importing French fries from Europe, so he has access to potatoes. He has a farm, so we're gonna start producing our own French fries made in Africa. And they want to do business with Black Americans. It's just Black Americans. I did a video on it today. You had this terrorist attack in London, and you have these terrorist attacks in France. But Black people will still rather go to London, go to France, and not be, I guess, scared or bothered by the terrorism that's that's coming into these places. But they still won't travel to Africa because they're worried that a lion might eat them at the airport. So you have terrorism. You got terrorists in vans running people over, getting out the van, stabbing, shaking people, literally killing people. But Black people are still, they still want to travel to these places and take pictures at the Big Ben, take pictures at the Eiffel Tower. No matter what, they're not going to allow the terrorism to stop them from going to these places. But they're scared shitless to go to Africa because when they go to Africa, they're afraid a lion is going to eat them at Jomo Kenyatta Airport. If they get past the lion, they might catch Ebola at the freaking passport control. They make it past the Ebola, a swarm of mosquitoes are going to get them and give them malaria. So it's just, you have to first demystify Africa for Black Americans to even want to do business over there. But the Africans over there are like, Black American, come over. Because Chinese are over there making money, Lebanese are over there making money, white people are over there making money, but Black people, for some odd reason, they just won't get out the box of, if it's not white, it's not right, basically. I mean, to sum it up. So yeah, it's huge opportunities over there.
ABL. Now, before I ask you this, I know, for example, right, I was talking to a writer in Nigeria, Sylvanus Omanoyi. He's written a few articles from the NegroManosphere.com, which is the website I own and operate. He says there's not one website in Nigeria that speaks on Black men's issues or Nigerians men's issues at all, in a country over 200 million people. And you look at, if anything catches fire in Nigeria, automatically you're rich, automatically you're wealthy. What do you think about Black Americans who have, expertise in a skill set such as you in the business sense? Shouldn't we be looking more to do more independent business instead of, trying to fight for things in America? Should we look for Africa? Should we look towards these other places to take our skill sets to, and possibly develop and kind of, come back and forth between both nations or continents?
I mean, for me personally, I think we need to just be here. And I mean, because really it's easy to make money here. It's very easy. I mean, if you got skills, it's very easy to make money here. I don't see why people, there's a lot of opportunities right in front of your face everywhere, all over the United States, especially in areas where you have a high Black population, like where I'm at in Virginia. I mean, you got guys doing all kind of stuff. You got guys that's doing plumbing, HVAC, and making a killing. You got guys riding Benzes, McMansions, all of that off of being a plumber. Now, that's like real basic kind of skill sets, right? So if you're talking about that, I think you need to focus on America first. Now, if you're very good at what you do and you're able to make a lot of money here, then you should be able to be going back and forth between different countries and not just staying right where you at. But I think just for the average person, the average Black person, look right in your own backyard. It's a lot of opportunities you're not really taking advantage of. You could be going to some of these low income areas that got problems with their roofing and stuff like that. I mean, if you got a hammer and some nails, you could fix up some of these houses and get paid. I mean, seriously, it's like that, but people are just a little bit too lazy to go just a few miles outside of their neighborhood and think a little bit critically about how to make money. That's my opinion on it, though.
Let me do this because Searchforuhuru, and my man Marcus A. Brown. I think you already answered it, but because Dynast has been to, let me see if I can remember all the countries, dog. Namibia, you've been to Kenya, you've been to Tanzania, you've been to South Africa, you've been to Senegal, you've been to Benin. Damn, there's always one to Mali. Did I get all of them?
You said Kenya, Tanzania, you named those.
Yeah, Mali, Namibia, South Africa, Senegal,
Benin.
Yeah, I saw it 7, right?
Yeah, you said.
Oh, okay. So out of those 7 countries, Marcus A. Brown asked, what is the, for Black American wanting to travel to Africa for the first time, where should you go? And I know you said Kenya and Tanzania, but can you tell me why?
I think it's English speaking. It's not that expensive. You can find a ticket round trip to, we'll say, Nairobi, if you look the right time of the year, for less than like $700 round trip. If you don't know anybody there, you can get a decent bed and breakfast for like $30, $40 a night. Again, it's English speaking. And then it's not as expensive versus going to places in West Africa. For some reason, West Africa is expensive as hell. So, I would recommend Kenya and Tanzania. And then there's a lot to do. You have, if you want to go on safari, you go on a safari, which I did. I did Serengeti. If you want to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, which I did, climb Mount Kilimanjaro. You got Zanzibar. You have a diversity of a lot you can do within Kenya and Tanzania. So that's why I recommend there, because you get more bang for your buck.
Okay. All right. I don't know. I guess what else am I missing? What other points, ABL, did you bring up? I know you did a video about Bill Maher and the N-word. What other points did you bring up? Maybe that we're not touching on now that you talked about in your video, and then we can link the video here so people can watch it.
We pretty much said everything that was in the video here today. The main thing, my main point about Bill Maher was his whole trying to put Black folks into a box, and how white liberals always do that. They always try to look at us as like gangbangers, thugs, prostitutes, et cetera, jailbirds and stuff like that. Then they made jokes about it, and then they try to say, oh, well, no, it was a joke. Oh, one more thing I want to say about the N-word in general. A lot of white liberals, even some people that are not liberal, maybe some conservatives, they'll try to say the N-word, then they'll say it in context. I hear that a lot. Oh, what about the proper context? Anytime I hear that argument, I know automatically it could be a toss-up, whether they're trying to just call you a nigger to your face, or they're just trying to use it in context and they don't mean any harm by it. I just prefer that nobody says it, so then there's no confusion. Bill Maher knows that. He knows that confusion exists. That's why he says it. He could have just been using the word because it made him feel good. It gave him some euphoria. And then once he gets a negative reaction, he can just say, oh, I'm a comedian, this, that, and the third. So I think you got to watch out for that from anybody that's not Black, using racial slurs like that against you, because it might not be what you think, and it might not be something that's harmless.
Let me do this. A shout out to E Cherry for the $5 super chat. Y'all got me rich today. No, but thank you, appreciate it. Dynast, is there anything else that you wanted to say? What I can do is I can also take questions from the fans. I know people want to talk to you guys. So, anything else that you want to say? Or
I just think that who subscribe to liberalism need to stop playing and stop falling for the liberal tricks. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've seen it firsthand in LA. Like, it's a whole big fucking mind fuck, and black people are going along with it. And the thing about it is, a lot of black people who follow other black people who are black liberals, these black liberals aren't stupid. They know that a lot of these liberals aren't shit. Like, they know that. And they're just, like I said, acting strange for a little bit of change. And they know that. You know, don't be so naive, because a lot of these black liberals and politicians that are Democrats, they know they're not shit, and they're not acting in the best interest of the black collective. They know that when they sign their checks every week. So just don't fall for the liberal Democratic mind fucking game and paradigm. That's what I want.
Okay, so man, let me see. Unless we have anybody else, let's see. Full circle shout out to you, and that no one will go on HBO for his head. Liberals, conservatives still fooling black Americans. Let me ask you this. ABO, you know, me and you are probably like the only, well, there's a tree of logic. And shout out to her.
Big up Tree of Logic.
When she wore that White Lives Matter shirt, though, that's something that right there.
Got a little bit trigger on that one.
That I was gonna reach out to her to, you know, maybe we could work together. But you know, that any black person with a White Lives Matter shirt, you know, you're kind of on the level. That's kind of on the level. It's kind of on the level of coolness to me. It's kind of right there. You're kind of like,
Nah, Tree, she really as it gets, though. I think she was just triggering people with that.
Okay, but still, this is and the white people, oh my God, bro, like, you know, they love her. I think, like, I have some people who follow me in my political videos when I do them, but I don't have a big push from a lot of white conservatives, though. I get a big push from a lot of white.
Because you got black centered content. That's why if you had content that was not black centered, you would see more of a variation in your subscriber base. Yeah, that's true. I do have more, but my delivery is more for Negroes too. And I do that on purpose. I could do it more clean cut, I guess, but you know, people like Tree of Logic, you, me, we are still nonetheless Obsidian, even to a certain degree. He doesn't do a lot of political commentary, but he's a hardcore conservative. Me and you are definitely hardcore conservatives. But, you know, why do people think that we're trying to con people out of black people still? Like, we're the enemies of black America. Why do you think many black people see us that way? Because they say, well, conservatives, and if you're a black conservative, you're also cooning. Or what if you have the person who says, okay, liberals, black conservatives ain't shit. What would you say to somebody like that? You got to just get out of your mind state, get out of the way you were raised, you know, stop believing what you were taught as a little boy. You know, at one point in time, you thought the Tooth Fairies, or you thought Santa Claus was real, but those things are not real. It's fantasy. You got to just grow up, man. Just expand your mind, learn how to read, be an independent thinker. Don't just listen to what I say and take it for gospel or O'Shea or anybody else. Just do your own independent research and have an open mind. That's how I was, because I was a straight stomped down liberal at one point. I was the kind of guy that would be like, you know, white people, you came from caves, all this, that, and the third. That was me. But as I became older and wiser and started to learn and research more, I came to my own conclusion. It was not somebody trying to preach to me or pontificate to me. It was me on my own. So I advise anybody that want to call somebody a coon just because they're conservative, you're not even thinking critically. You don't even know that person. You don't know the ins and outs of their personality or their whole thought process or their whole ideology. So just read and research and come to your own conclusion rather than basing how you feel on what you were taught as a little boy and girl.
Let me ask you, what was the turning point? I know you used to be on like allhiphop.com, debating people, stuff like that.
Yep.
What was your turning point? Because you wrote, you told me you read Elijah Muhammad, The Black Man Speaks, right?
Message to the Black Man.
Message to the Black Man, okay. Message to the Black Man. So you wrote that, and it's very interesting. Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam, they're like extreme conservatives. Like they're probably the most conservative group maybe in America, in Black America, right?
You said what now?
A Nation of Islam is super conservative.
Oh yeah, very conservative. You know, that was part of it right there. When I started studying that, when I started studying Elijah Muhammad and all them people, and I know some guys in the nation right now, some of my personal friends. If you research Louis Farrakhan, and some pictures of him with people that I know personally, and they're very conservative. But I didn't just study them and just park my car there. Some guys, they just say, okay, I found Louis Farrakhan, I'm gonna just study him, and then that's it. I'm not gonna get beyond that. But I did a lot of reading and a lot of research. You know, I've been reading for a long time. That's why I got glasses on. And I just kept reading until things started to kind of make sense in my own mind. And then with just personal experience, getting older, I've been in business for about 10 years consistently. I've never had a full-time job as an adult. I've always been an entrepreneur. And I've done okay. I've done fairly well. And having that experience, it made me become more conservative. Talking about taxes, you're talking about understanding the way money works. Shout out to the person in the chat. I don't know your name is, just wow, okay, whatever that name comes from. But the person was saying, oh, I can't stand ABL. I asked the dude why. He was like, because of your stance on the minimum wage. I'm like, what I said about the minimum wage is correct. And the reason why I know it's correct is because of my personal experience and also reading, you know, stuff like that. I had to just understand as I got older. But if you don't have the knowledge, if you don't have the understanding, you won't. But me, I got it, and now I have it.
And I like to piggyback on what ABL said. Like me, I'm becoming more conservative because you have to think about it. The majority of Black people that subscribe to liberalism, they're very transient. They don't own anything. So when you get up every day, grind for 12 hours, and then you find out your taxes are going to support this dustiness,
Thank you.
You get pissed off. So that's where I'm at. And so like when I have arguments or debates with my Black liberal friends in California, and I see the bigger picture, like, okay, this dude doesn't own shit. He's transient as hell. You know, he can barely keep a fucking job. He's complaining about minimum wage. So minimum wage is intended for high school kids and college students to have a job during the fucking summer or when they're out of school. Like, I'd be damned if a low-skilled person is gonna make as much money as me. Hell fucking no. If they do, that's cool, but then I need my salary triple if that happens. So it's just the people that I come in contact with that agree or defend Bill Maher, you know, again, agree and defend minimum wage being raised, agree and defend women versus women versus the women that voted for Trump march, agree and defend freaking this travel ban. You know, if you just look at their profile, they're very transient. They don't own shit. You know, and it's like, okay, I see why you act like this way, but that's fine. Be like that, but I'd be damned if my taxes are gonna support this dustiness. So again, as you get older, as you have kids and pick up more responsibility, then you understand like, nah, hell no. I don't want my taxes to go paying for this dustiness. But at the same time, it's like these same people that will go and support all this other bullshit, they're being gentrified out the fucking their city they're living in. They can't afford to live in their liberal cities. And it's just like, dude, like you're voting for your own fucking destruction. And then the people you're supporting, they don't support you at all. Like when you get gentrified out your city, when the rents go up and you get sent from the Bay Area to Stockton, California, or from Harlem to freaking Albany, New York, like the women versus women that voted for Trump participants, they're not gonna come save you. The freaking Muslim immigrants that are on the travel ban list, they're not gonna come to save you. None of these people are gonna save you or have not historically saved you. So what the fuck are you doing? You know, it just doesn't make sense. You're supporting the wrong shit. But again, it's just that whole liberal, I just gotta, whatever. Yeah. So I feel you on that, ABO.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, shit. Is there anything else we got to cover tonight? I know we have let me do this real quick. So you guys know I won't be making any content. This is my last video I'm gonna do for the next. I might go live on this when I get there, but I'm not gonna be producing no content like that. I'm gonna be out touring. So let me get 16 more people to like the video real quick. You know, I got 135 people watching right now. Let's get it to 100. So if you're in the chat and you haven't liked the video, do me a favor and go ahead and get the likes up. Y'all know how we like to do over here. We love likes. I'm addicted to them. It just helps promote the video more. So you guys know I will not be producing content. I'm leaving all my my laptop equipment here. I don't want to take my shit across the world. 15-hour flight. And the internet, from what I've been told about in Uganda, is not necessarily so stable like it is here in Poland or the US. So, I look forward to the experience. I'm taking my GoPro out there. I think ABA, you got a GoPro now, right?
Yep.
Which one do you have? Do you have a Hero 5?
Hero 5.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah. So he said I influenced him to get a GoPro. So Dynast influenced me to go to Africa. And I influenced ABL to get a GoPro. So we have influencers on the channel right now. So thank you guys for everything that you do. I'm looking forward to the experience. First time going to the continent. You guys will share this with me. So as soon as I get there, I'll be going live on my YouTube. When I get my Vodafone chip in. I'll see you guys with my regular content and interviews. Around who the fuck is just messaging me? What the fuck? Oh, okay. Sorry, that's what that noise was. So let me just let ABL close it out, and then I'll go to Dynast, and then we get up out of here.
Oh yeah, hey man, I enjoyed the hangout. It's been cool. I'm missing the finals right now. I'm about to go catch the second half and see what's going on. But yeah, it was definitely good dialogue here tonight. If you don't know me, my name is Anthony Brian Logan. Please subscribe to me on my YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/alog. That's youtube.com/ALOGE. If you go to Google and search my name, Anthony Brian Logan, everything comes up. My website, anthonyblogan.com. Go to my Patreon, patreon.com/Anthony B. Logan, ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN, and I'm out.
All right, and so I'm trying to. I can stream. We can watch the game on in CBS Sports, right? Okay.
I don't know. It's on ABC.
It's on ABC. Okay. Can I watch it on ABC.com?
I don't even know.
All right, because I'm not in America right now, so I'm trying to find out how to watch this goddamn game. But anyways, Dynast, go ahead and close it out, man, so we can go ahead and watch this game and shit too.
Yeah, Dynast Amir. Follow me. Searchforuhuru on YouTube. Searchforuhuru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Check out my site, dynastamir.com. Go to searchforuhuru.com. And, again, like I always say, O'Shea, thank you for having this platform for Black men in dialogue. Again, for some odd reason. Well, we know the reason. You get bullshit Black media that's getting punked by liberals, through Ebony and BET. But, again, we need our own platform. And I appreciate brothers like you, appreciate brothers like Brother Logan over there. And I, again, just want to thank you for giving the opportunity to come on your platform and speak on issues that affect us today.
All right. So, man, I thank both of you. Thank you so much for both for coming on. I'm about to watch the second half of this game and get packing and get ready to go. So see you guys in Uganda. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.